From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm David Byrd reporting. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has won the South Carolina primary. Early returns indicate that Mrs. Clinton overwhelmingly beat Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders by taking a nearly 3-1 margin in the ballots cast on Saturday. Clinton thanked cheering supporters at her campaign headquarters.
I am so greatly appreciative because today you sent a message in America when we stand together. When we stand together, there is no barrier too big to break.
The win was Clinton's third victory after taking the Iowa and Nevada caucuses and losing the New Hampshire primary to Sanders. The primary was the last before the so-called Super Tuesday voting March 1st, where nearly 1,000 delegates are up for grabs. Meanwhile, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump and Florida Senator Marco Rubio continued trading insults on the campaign trail Saturday. At a stop in Arkansas, one of the states that will hold its primary next Tuesday, Trump called Rubio a lightweight who should not be president.
This guy has a fresh mouth. He's a very nasty guy. And I actually thought that Ted Cruz was a liar, but Rubio is worse. I mean, he's worse.
Meanwhile, at a rally in Georgia, another Super Tuesday state, Marco Rubio called Trump a con artist and said he would never get control of the Republican Party. Texas Senator Ted Cruz said that Trump is a bad example for young people in the United States. Voters will cast ballots in 11 states on the Republican side Tuesday, with 865 delegates at stake. This is VOA News. Early returns Saturday from Iran's parliamentary election indicate major gains for reformist and moderate candidates who favor engagement with the West. Final results are not expected until Monday. This is the first election held in Iran since it reached a nuclear deal with 6 world powers. A suicide bomber attacked Afghan security forces near the Defense Ministry building in Kabul Saturday, killing at least 12 people and wounding 13 others. Witnesses in Kabul saw rescue workers transporting dead and wounded to hospitals in the capital city immediately after the attack. The bombing followed an earlier attack in Kunar province that killed at least 13 and wounded more than 40 others. A Taliban spokesman told VOA the insurgent group carried out the Kabul bombing. The Afghan Defense Ministry said that 2 soldiers were among the dead in the Kabul blast. The ceasefire in Syria that began Saturday has mostly held, even though there have been some incidents of violence. State media reported a car bomb explosion on the outskirts of the central city of Salamiyah in Hama province killed 2 soldiers. Elsewhere, clashes between government forces and rebel groups were reported in Latakia province near the Turkish border. The truce, brokered by the United States and Russia, took effect at midnight Friday Damascus time. In his weekly media address, President Obama said changing the internal situation in Syria is key to defeating the Islamic State.
This remains a difficult fight, and the situation in Syria and Iraq is incredibly complex. ISIL's entrenched, including in urban areas. It uses innocent civilians as human shields.
The truce does not apply to Islamic State and the al-Qaeda-linked al-Nusra Front terror groups. Airstrikes by a Saudi-led Arab coalition fighting Shiite forces in Yemen have killed at least 30 people Saturday at a popular market northeast of the capital Sana'a. Yemeni officials are quoted as saying the strike in the Nim district killed mostly civilians and left burned bodies strewn over the area. The Saudi-led coalition is fighting Houthi rebels and forces loyal to former President Ali Abdullah Saleh in a bid to restore the internationally recognized government of President Abdrabbu Mansour Hadi. Authorities in Somalia say the death toll from 2 explosions near a Mogadishu hotel has risen to 25 people. A hospital spokesman told VOA that 8 of the 34 people admitted there died of serious wounds. 3 more bodies were pulled out from houses damaged by the massive car bombs near the SYL hotel. The Islamic extremist group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility. I'm David Byrd in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.